Hey, so if you've taken time out of whatever else it is you could be doing to listen to this, I should thank you. I'm not some big content creator or popular streamer, just a person who's played Overwatch for a very long time and wanted to weigh in on what's been going on. The last week in Overwatch news has been really tough to swallow. It's been the kind of week that, for me personally, has made me reevaluate whether or not to consider myself a fan of this game. I should start out by saying that I think there's a lot of things that Overwatch 2 does very well. In my experience so far, 5v5 has been a good change, and the move away from CC based character designs has been very welcome to say the least. That said, the recent announcement that the PvE that was shown back at BlizzCon 2019, the central reason, mind you, that Overwatch 2 was being marketed as a sequel at all, has been cancelled, has left this community in crisis mode. I personally was really disappointed by this as well, because as side games, I really enjoy PvE. So to be told that this amazing new game mode that we've been waiting 3 years for has been cancelled is just so bitter. So it just baffles the mind how Blizzard, this company with billions of dollars in resources, and spent 3 years on this content, and we're told that it's still years away. It's so underdone, so incomplete, that it's infeasible for them to ever deliver on this promise of a PvE game mode is not an acceptable excuse in any way, shape, or form. Overwatch 1 had been left on life support. The monetization of the game had become increasingly egregious. But I'd consoled myself with the idea that if this was what they needed to do to ensure that the PvE is as amazing as it can possibly be, then that was a sacrifice I was willing to make. And it all amounted to nothing, apparently. Goodbye, hopes and dreams for this game being at least somewhat respected anytime soon. To say that I've watched a lot of other videos on this topic over the last week would be an understatement, to say the least. But one that particularly caught my attention was the one that Sir Swag made. And if you haven't had a look at the kind of content that he produces, you are missing out. It's fantastic. I put a lot of stock in his journalistic integrity. So when he said in his most recent video that he had spoken to an anonymous Blizzard employee, this got me very interested. In it, his source says that Overwatch 2's current issues are entirely the result of upper management. And personally, I have no trouble believing this. Diablo Immortal on release was making $2 million a day. And if you know anything about that game, it should be that it's absolutely filled to the brim with microtransactions. It would therefore seem to me that the entire reason for this radical change in direction from the Overwatch team was entirely motivated by upper management executive level short-term profit goals. In their minds, why continue to focus on an Overwatch PvE event that's going to be a one-time release when they can make so much more money in the short term off of microtransactions, completely neglecting the idea that they should be building consumer confidence and a strong brand, completely throwing this game's community to the wolves, and worse still, to keep up the facade that PvE would be coming at some point in order to sell access to Overwatch 2 before the game released, only to drop it on us 6 months later that it was being cancelled, despite them knowing this over a year ago. They pissed away 3 years of development time that the team poured their heart and soul into, and so utterly destroyed any goodwill people had left for this IP or Blizzard as a company that they are sent running for the door in droves. To Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Blizzard, I say these words: "You are an embarrassment to modern gaming. If you have a single shred of decency, you will immediately resign over these disgusting anti-consumer practices that you have allowed and authorized under your watch." I never thought I'd hear myself utter this sentence, but thank God Blizzard is being bought out by Microsoft. Therein at least lies some tiny shred of hope. that this company could get some radical restructuring that forces them to give actual consideration to the products they're making. I'm not really holding out on this one though. Recent experience shows us that having any hope for this game to be better in the near future is a lost cause. Unless something massive happens, and soon, this is pretty much the end of me giving Overwatch the time of day. I will come back from time to time. I will probably have a look at the PvE stuff when it drops in Season 6. But any idea of me playing this game as my main game, of grinding it, any desire I once had to be good at this game, is completely gone now. Overwatch and the Overwatch team deserved better than this. You, as a player, as a consumer, deserved better than this. I hope there's a future where this game can become great again, to reclaim the position that it once had and the prestige that it had in the eyes of its community. Until then, thanks Overwatch. It's been real.